field. And Jordan back has given Tennessee the lead. Christian Scott, a leap at the fence. He robs a home run.
Sponsored by Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. FieldhouseSocial.com.
Ben Joyce kicks and delivers. Strike 3.
Rock Solid Sports, the only show with a home field advantage for UT Athletics. Here's tonight's host.
Welcome in to the Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports here on WTK 90.3 The Rock. We are so grateful to have you joining us for tonight, to everyone out there listening through the radio, Facebook stream, as well as just listening with your buddies. I've got a bunch of buddies here with me tonight, a great, wonderful crew. As many of you know, we do have quite the show lined up for you tonight. We will have Sterl the Pearl, Sterling Henton, coming on the show, former VFL QB under, back in the day, of course. So anyway, I'm going to kick it to my cast real quick. We have the Friday night host, Chloe Levering, in the building, as well as on in the fishbowl. I have Dominic as well as Justin, and we also over at Fieldhouse Social have our man, Dylan Becker. I'll kick it to Dylan in a second, but guys, how are we doing?
I'm doing pretty good tonight. I don't know about you, Chris, but I'm doing pretty good because Tennessee Vols play tomorrow in Neyland. So I am super excited to be there. And I know a lot of us are going to be here over in Neyland tomorrow night as well. So I'm super excited for Sterl to come join us here in a minute.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the game tomorrow. I cannot wait for some Tennessee football.
Absolutely. Yeah. We all are so excited about the Tennessee game tomorrow. We are, of course, going to get into that. But first, I want to kick it to our guy, Dylan, over at our wonderful Wednesday night sponsor, Fieldhouse Social. Dylan, how is the vibe over there tonight?
You can feel the excitement for tomorrow just by sitting here. And there's decent amount of people here eating, getting ready to make sure they got enough food in their bellies to absolutely fill Neyland tomorrow. It's going to be a good weekend.
100%. Again, we are all stoked about what's going on tomorrow night. We do want to let everyone out there know we are still waiting on Sterl the Pearl to join us for tonight. I believe just having some difficulties there, but no worries. We will have him on. Nevertheless, we are going to get into the game tonight because the most wonderful time of the year, if you had to ask me personally, is finally here. And there is so much excitement on campus, so much excitement in Knoxville throughout the entire city, of course, because football season is finally back and we all are just chomping at the bit to get this season underway. I'm going to throw it to the guys here in the studio first. Guys, tell me, how excited are we about tomorrow? What are your what are your expectations going into this game?
Obviously, incredibly excited coming into this season after having such a good season last season. We really kind of blew away expectations after losing so many people in the transfer portal. And once we kind of figured out our main lineup of guys, once we figured out Hendon Hooker was going to start, our team looked really good. So I think the expectation for this season is to really build off that. And most people are saying 8-4 is a healthy target, and I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, 8-4, that'd have us looking at about second in the East, but we know we're going to have a good team. What I'm excited about is to see the new look Neyland Stadium, that new South South end zone scoreboard, and just the Vols letters over on the north side, man. I just can't wait. And it's going to be a night game. The fireworks are going to be out. It's going to be a wallpaper-worthy moment.
Yeah, I cannot tell you how many times as a Tennessee fan, I've been a Tennessee fan my entire life, that I have thought growing up, well, Tennessee's going to be good this year. And then Tennessee wasn't very good. But this year...
Don't bring that up.
Well, I was saying this year, we've been talking
real.
about it a long time on this show. We've been talking about, this season, Josh Heupel's second year on Rocky Top. And I think we have some pretty realistic expectations. Of course, I may be like jaded now because I'm not jaded. That's not the right word. I may be brainwashed now because I'm a Tennessee fan and I always have too high expectations. But we'll see. We'll talk more about that, here in a minute. But yeah, Dylan, were you going to say something?
Opening night is always special for literally any sport ever. Earlier today, I was watching some Blackhawks fly around. Don't know if it was some sort of military exercise or if we're going to see a really cool flyover tomorrow.
I saw that
Either
too.
way, yeah, it's love to see that.
Yeah, it was actually really interesting. I don't know exactly what was going on, if it was a National Guard thing or what have you, but yeah, that was really cool. I was walking out of one of my classes earlier, and just big chopper just flying right over you, right over the stadium. So I don't know if that's if there's something going on there. There's connection with maybe getting ready for something tomorrow. That'd be cool. But either way, that it was a really cool sight to see, and I think it's just I don't know, just kind of adds to that buildup that we're all feeling, bursting at the seams to finally watch this 2022 Tennessee football team take the field. We know it's unfortunately not a more hyped up event because it is starting with a lower level opponent. I'm not going to obviously throw any shade at Ball State, but we saw Bowling Green come in here last year, exact same similar environment. Thursday night game starting off the season, night game, as Justin said earlier, you got the fireworks. Everybody's already fired up. And then when Tennessee goes out there and puts up 50 points on the scoreboard, it just lets loose. And so it was wonderful. This year, we have the exact same setup, except Tennessee is a year experienced at this point, and we have one of the preseason, favorite QBs of this year, and Mr. Hooker there, who is looking to take this team to new levels that were even unreached last year. So I just can't express how excited I am for this upcoming season. We've all been waiting for it, guys. I know we're obviously still once again waiting on Sterl the Pearl to join the show. No worries there. He will be on, of course, but let's continue on with the football talk here, and of course, previewing our game tomorrow.
We got a lot of comments up there.
All right. I appreciate everyone out in there leaving your comments as well. Everyone out there listening. Again, thank you so much. We always appreciate your support for allowing us to do what we do, because it wouldn't be possible, right? So again, thank you so much. And I do want to throw again back to the guys real quick and just get what are you let's just say, what are you most excited for tomorrow? I know it's not the most exciting opponent. What exactly, though, do you anticipate seeing from that Tennessee offense or defense?
Tomorrow, I'm just looking for a steady product. Consistency is going to be really important this season. Our offense is going to need to be at high levels all season long for us to do well, because our defense, as we saw last season, was a little bit lackluster. But if we can start doing well consistently on defense and, closing out more third downs, because that was a big issue last season, is we'd get to third down and they'd get a crucial conversion and the game would be a lot more difficult for us. But if we can see some consistency start to build on offense and defense, we're going to be a really tough team to contend with.
Yeah, you made a great point about third down defense. We would give up like 50% of third downs on defense, which is just unheard of in football. But I'm looking forward to see Jabari Small, because I don't think he gets talked about enough in the Tennessee Twitter or whatever. That's just Tennessee talking spaces. And he was third team all SEC preseason. I mean, this guy, he had 800 yards last year. He's not a bell cow, but we really rode him in some games when we really needed it. He takes a lot of pressure off of Hooker, and which is who everybody wants to talk about. We would talk about Hooker, we would talk about Tillman, Hyatt, and Albert McCoy, but give some love to Jabari Small.
Yeah, that running back situation there. I know it got a little funky over the past few weeks with Lynn J kind of hitting a turnstile on us, right? In and then out real quick. But, again, and we've talked about it on the show prior, but, Jabari Small, for all intents and purposes, was an excellent running back last year. He was a great asset to have in the backfield. And the guy, he went through the injuries there. I believe it was the shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. And, it set him back a little bit. But his perseverance through that, the way he was still able to have big games down the stretch, I admired him for it. I'm so happy that he's still in our backfield, of course. And I know we're going to have some guys step up because that's what Josh Heupel is getting out of his guys. We all know that. He's going to get the best out of his guys 100%. And I mean, I just feel like we have a coach on campus that players want to absolutely play for. And that's a wonderful feeling. I feel like it's been a while, right?
For once in a few years. Yeah, for sure. As long as I can remember, I mean, I'm from Knoxville, but not that I was super, like a 5-year-old little girl super into Tennessee football coaching and recruiting. But I definitely have had my share of how it goes and things like that. I remember all the eras from my lifetime. And I don't know. I've been on campus only during the Jeremy Pruitt and the Josh Heupel era. And there just definitely was, I think we can all agree, because I think most of us have been on campus for both of those eras too. I think we can all agree that there was a change, not only just, in how the fans felt about everything, but I mean, I've, done some things around the football team and, been to practices, been to photo shoots with them and things like that. And you can definitely just notice the difference if you don't even have to be observant. So I'm, super excited for the second season. The first season of a coach is always questionable, but ours wasn't even questionable last year. I think it was a great way to start the season. For considering Tennessee had a brand new coach. So I'm super excited to see how things go in season 2 and see Josh Heupel season 2 at Tennessee with the Tennessee Vols. And the Josh Heupel is part of the reason why I'm super enthusiastic as a Tennessee fan.
You can say you're believing the hype. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a great way to get everybody to believe is to go from the hundreds in FBS offensive ranks to 7. That's a great way to, just get everybody riled up. Everybody wants to see the high scores compared to what we had in the past years with Garantano and Pruitt. And now we're just putting 40 on everybody, at least.
Yeah, I can't say that I've been a Tennessee fan my whole life because I'm not from here, but ever since coming onto campus, I've loved Coach Heupel. Like, I just remember following Tennessee football before I even got here on Instagram, and just seeing how the Instagram changed from coach to coach was actually insane, because players just genuinely seemed hyped at practice. They seemed like they wanted to be there. It didn't seem like this miserable, just practice where nobody has fun, everybody's thrown up. But
now you got people dancing, and
yeah,
it's just
exactly.
a great time.
You guys know what I always say about the first time I ever put eyes on Pruitt. He told us to just show out, support, and have faith, which, again, you never want to hear that from a coach, because that's just politely saying we're going to be bad. But over the past 4 years, we've grown into an actual program I can be proud of, which obviously that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so nice to see the change, of course. And it's not even just like positional changes. It's not just player changes. There's like a different, just a different feel in the atmosphere around campus now, because, it isn't just football. Tennessee has so many athletics that are doing so well right now that we've seen recently and that we are going to see in the near future. And so, of course, previewing a little bit of the Lady Ball soccer as well as volleyball talk that we're going to get into on the other side of the break here. Yeah, for football, again, we are all just so excited. I am Nick Hill. I see him mentioning cornerbacks need to be so much better, especially Warren Burrell. Not to call out anybody, but there's some guys. There's some guys that could stand to be a little bit more locked in this year. At least we hope to see that. So I 100% agree with that, because if Tennessee's defense is able to be stout, to be at least good enough to keep teams off of the scoreboard from putting up 30, 40, 50 points, then I think for sure Tennessee could have a magical season. Now, we're not going to get into season predictions and whatnot, but I do want to run it around real quick, guys. Give a quick preview for the game tomorrow. I'm sorry, not a preview. Give a quick score prediction for the game tomorrow. And again, we know who you got, but let's hear some scores.
I'll just go Tennessee 55, Ball State 6.
I was honestly feeling the 55 too. It feels like a nice round number for Tennessee to shoot for, but I'm going to say something weird happens. Ball State gets a safety, and it's 55-9.
Just for our bettors out there, the spread for the game is Tennessee minus 35.5.
I'm going to go with Tennessee 48, Ball State 7.
We're pretty helpful in our defense.
I mean, they did their thing against Bowling Green last year, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think I think this is going to be a very mirroring game of last year. So if I'm going to throw out, stay with me, guys, but I'm going to throw out, I don't think it's unreasonable to think Tennessee could put up a 60 piece tomorrow. I'm not going to go that high, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
I definitely can see that happening, especially if we let our offense run wild. But I think
that's the thing.
Yeah, I think that once we get to about 35 points, Heupel's just going to start looking at what some of his other guys can do and make sure that he's got good backup players.
Joe Milton might see the field again.
No.
No, Joe. So
hey, come on.
He's pretty good.
He's like 23, 24, man. These are the last games he's playing.
Hey, you know what? I like Joe, man. I got to talk to him at SEC Media Days. Really cool, laid back cat. He's got a great relationship with Henton Hooker. We all have learned that. So wonderful to see. I hope he does get some playing time tomorrow. Get him some good plays, some good confidence. We need everybody feeling good after tomorrow. Because obviously we have a quick and tough turnaround, not a quick turnaround, but a tough turnaround for next Saturday.
And could I say one more thing about Joe Milton?
Sure.
My friend who videos the practices for UT football, he says Joe Milton's the funniest player on the team. So that means something.
I can probably agree with that.
You need a locker room guy.
Yeah, that's actually really important. Glad to hear that.
So I hope he sees the field tomorrow.
Justin, you're a basketball guy like me. What do we call those people in the NBA?
Cheerleaders.
Not cheerleaders, but glue guys.
Glue guys, cheerleaders. Well, cheerleaders sounds bad, but it's like you want that guy on your team. You want that guy with, he has the best music on the team. This is the guy you give the aux. He has the best jokes.
Yeah,
that's Joe Milton.
You see those NBA benches too, where every single game now they're freaking out every time one of their boys hits a three. They're jumping up and down. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like I've caught myself. I'm like, why am I looking at the bench right now while a play's going on?
And just antics, Yeah, antics as always. But you know what? It keeps the game fun and entertaining for sure. Also, so yeah, I'll give my score prediction real quick. I don't think Tennessee's putting up 60, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm somewhere in the ballpark of someone else in the comments here. One of our former executive producer, Jason, he says Ball State's offense not been relevant since Nate Davis, 58-10 Vols. So I'm going to go 52-13. I think towards the end, Ball State gets a lucky touchdown or something. But otherwise, I think it was one of you guys on the other side there said the 2 field goals, 6 points. So not too far from that. So anyway. We all looking very much forward to that game tomorrow. We are still anticipating Sterl to join us, so please stay tuned and locked in for that. We will get to the other side of the break, and we're going to discuss some Lady Vol soccer and volleyball. And later on in the show, we'll also get into some more of the college football weekend, first weekend, well, sort of second weekend of the year, week 1 anyway, of all the great games coming up. Stay tuned. This is your Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports, sponsored by Fieldhouse Social.
Support for WUTK comes from Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. Fieldhouse Social serves American craft fare such as burgers, wings, and more with high tops around the bar, a separate dining area, and a center lounge with leather chairs and couches in front of their 23-foot LED TV wall for Tennessee and pro sports. Fieldhouse Social is an outdoor patio with trivia twice a week and sponsors Wednesday's Rock Solid Sports. FieldhouseSocial.com.
Knoxville, be sure to tune in Wednesday nights from 8 until 10 p.m. p.m. for The Alternative, sponsored by Bliss and Torrey Mason Shoes on Gate Street and in West Town Mall. And Bliss Home at the Gallery Shopping Center, also sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill Bar and Live Music Venue in the heart of Knoxville's Old City. The Alternative features 2 hours of the best in Americana music from the station who first brought Knoxville music about bands from back in the alt-country days, like the Jayhawks, Uncle Tupelo, Steve Earle, and Jason and the Scorchers, to 90s Americana like the V-Roys, Whiskey Town, Lucinda Williams, Sunvold, and others, to modern-day Americana musicians like Molly Tuttle, Tyler Childers, Casey Musgrave, Sturgill Simpson, Billy Strings, and the Punch Brothers. You'll also get classic Americana like Johnny Cash, the band, and Emmylou Harris, and there's always Patsy Cline at 9. Tune in Wednesday nights at 8 for The Alternative. Sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill, Bliss Home, and Torrey Mason Shoes, and only on 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
Hey, this is Dave Kennedy of Kelsey's Woods. You're listening to 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
The Rock thanks the Knoxville Ice Bears Southern Professional Hockey League team for their support. Their 2022-2023 home ice season from October through April includes games with SPHL rivals Fayetteville, Huntsville, Roanoke, and more at the Civic Coliseum downtown. Single game and season tickets are at KnoxvilleIceBears.com or 865-525-PUCK. Rock Solid Sports features Ice Bears Wednesdays with news and updates. Volunteer Radio says, Go Ice Bears!
WUTK thanks Cool Beans, 1817 Lake Avenue, 1 block south of the Strip, for sponsoring and hosting the Monday night Rock Solid Sports broadcast at 7 p.m. Cool Beans is the pregame and postgame location for UT football, and Knoxville's home for the NFL Sunday Ticket, Titans football on the big screen, and more. Rock Solid Sports kicks off Monday Night Football with the show's live broadcast from 7 to 8 Monday nights at Cool Beans. Cool Beans is 21 and over after 9 p.m. with a full and late night menu. CoolBeansBar.com or their Facebook page. Volunteer Radio remains on the air thanks to support from Tennessee Smokies Baseball, the AA Southern League affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, whose 2022 regular season schedule features 6-game homestands Tuesdays through Sundays at nearby Smoky Stadium in Kodak against the Chattanooga Lookouts, Mississippi Braves, Birmingham Barons, and more. WUTK's Rock Solid Sports will cover Smokies Baseball all season long. SmokiesBaseball.com, and a link is at WUTKRadio.com.
The Rock thanks the Hill Bar and Grill for their support. The Hill on Forest Avenue is open 7 days a week at 11 a.m. until late night for dining indoors or on the expanded patio. The Hill has a variety of appetizers and a full menu of wings, burgers, tacos, and more. The Hill is our Thursday Munchie Madness sponsor and home of Friday's Rock Solid Sports. On Instagram at The Hill Knox. Menu at thehillknox.com.
90.3 The Rock thanks the UT Athletic Department for their support. Season tickets for the 2022 UT Volunteers football season are on sale now. The next phase of Neyland Stadium renovations will be ready for the new season with home games against Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and more. Info at allvols.com. A link is at WUTKradio.com. 90.3 The Rock wishes Coach Heupel and the football Vols good luck this season on the gridiron.
Hey, this is Bobby Long, and this is 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
Welcome back into the Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports. Thank you all so much for rocking with us tonight on this wonderful late summer eve. It's the last day of August, and August is for sure reminding us that fall's not here just yet. It is still around. But nevertheless, so much electricity in the atmosphere around this campus. We just had obviously our football talk and previewing the game, how much fun that was, of course. And we are still waiting to hear from Sterl the Pearl. But nevertheless, the show goes on, right? We are going to get into some Lady Vol sports going on right now. So we do have the soccer team playing at the moment. We are going to hold off on that update for just a second, but we are going to get into Lady Vol volleyball. They obviously have had a bit of a rough start to the season, winning last Friday, but losing both games on Saturday, as our Tucker Harlan covered those games. And so for the Lady Vols volleyball, they are going to try to rebound this weekend with the NC State Classic. They will play Elon on Friday, and then on Saturday they play Colgate and NC State, the host to the Classic. So obviously, there's a lot of anticipation for this season for the Lady Vols. A lot of players, of course, we've definitely got our eye on. Chloe, do you see any bounce back coming for the Lady Vols this weekend?
I hope so. I remember talking on this earlier in the week, or I think it was just like a week ago, last week. And I was super excited to see how these matches would go because we talked a lot about how these were pretty even matches for the Lady Vols team, or at least the Lady Vols team that we saw play last year. Like pretty even, pretty close records that these teams held together. So I was super excited to see this. The loss to Bowling Green was interesting, and then of course the win to Loyola. So super interesting stuff. But yeah, like I said, I hope that there. Like I said maybe we could get just a little bit of a taste of how this Lady Vols team is going to be, and I'm not really even sure if we did because they won a game and they lost a game, and both these games were, not really blowouts, I would say. So I'm not really sure how to feel about the Lady Vols team, and I think that we definitely need, I can now confirm, a few more games to see how good this team is going to be, or to at least just get a little bit more insight into that.
Guys, Justin or Dominic, either y'all have some input on the Lady Vols big tournament coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I was at the Friday game against Loyola that we won. That game was a pretty solid game, very back and forth battle. From what I saw of this team, it seemed like we had a really strong attack, yet we struggled to return at times. The attacks were well coordinated and very well executed. Specifically Morgan Fingal, she got 24 kills, 6 blocks, and 11 digs, which was a crazy stat line from that game. And just there was a lot of offensive power from Tennessee, but it just seemed to be a bit overwhelming when they were trying to return.
Yeah, Fingal and as well as Natalie Hayward have been playing very well. The seniors have been showing out. Dominic said 24 kills for Fingal. I'm not sure what Natalie Hayward had, but just looking at the game, excuse me, she's been doing well as well.
Yeah, and I think those are the ones, of course, you need to have you doing well for, if I worded that right. But because you need to have your top people, of course, especially those ones with a ton of experience in helping to lead that way. And it was a rough start, of course, last weekend. Tennessee hosting those games, Lady Vols. Again, going 1-2 in that, but I think this upcoming weekend, I have much more confidence against a couple of opponents. I think NC State's going to be a very interesting one. I don't want to downplay, of course, the smaller schools in Elon and Colgate, but I think for Tennessee, for the Lady Vols, you have to look at that as sort of those games where you need to get those early in the season. It's almost equivalent to having like your cupcakes in football, where like you need to get some good matches in you. You need to, of course, see where you're at. I know there's player movement that goes on from time to time. Some players step up and end up getting used more often. So I think for them, this weekend will be a telltale sign more of where they're at now. To start the season, it can always be shaky. It can always go that way. So I don't put too much emphasis on last weekend, but I think for this one, again, much more confidence for them. That and I believe that NC State match will be at 7:00 on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe they play early in the morning on Saturday, do they not? For against Colgate.
Yeah, usually on Saturday, I think. Sorry, I was reading something at the same time. Yeah, it's pretty early in the morning. I'm not sure what the exact time of that is. Let me check.
I'm looking right now. It's at 11.
Okay.
In Raleigh.
Okay, so 11:00. Okay, so that definitely gives the Lady Vols some time there, of course, in between their matches, as it usually goes. So obviously, Lady Vols volleyball looking to at least bring home 2 of the 3 from Raleigh this weekend. And moving on from that, we will keep our eyes on that and be discussing it next week. Moving on from that, we'll go to Lady Vols soccer. Of course, they are playing right now. They are playing Bowling Green State, a team that all of our teams are familiar with, right? Again, we talked about football last year. They came in and played volleyball last week, and now we have soccer playing them tonight. So getting very familiar with the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken there. So, but Lady Vols soccer again starting off a little rough as well. They are 0-1-1. They had the tough game against SMU, which was a 1-1 draw. Our girl Jada Thomas getting it done in that game. She was the only Lady Vol to put one through the back of the net, which was actually very fitting, given that SMU is from Dallas and she also was from Dallas. So that worked out very well for her. I'm sure it was a feel-good moment. Tennessee unable to get the win, but they did draw, and then had the heartbreaking loss to Duke that we have talked about, of course, over the past week, and that was just a tough one to watch. Chloe was at the game. I heard her talking about it Friday. Also shouted out Roanne and myself, and we had a great time. We had a great time at the game, but that last 22 minutes, of course, was tough. As we all know, Duke putting up 3 goals. We heard the guys on Monday talking about it. Yes, there was a technicality. I'm not going to say it's an asterisk game, but there was a third goal that was not counted. We all saw it. We all know it. But unfortunately, it is what it is. The game tonight, Tennessee playing, again, Bowling Green State. So looking to finally get that first win of the year. Chloe, do we have an update on the score of that one?
I do not have an update on the score. Doesn't say, no website I can find says anything. I don't know if that's because it's still scoreless or if that's because it's not updating.
So what I'm seeing right now is we are 28 minutes in. Tennessee Bowling Green still locked at 0. Nobody has scored just yet. So we are about 17 minutes from the halftime of that game. If my phone is accurate and up to date at the moment.
It's going to be hard to not get those volleyball matches and the soccer matches mixed up, considering they're playing so many of the same teams already, NC State and Bowling Green.
I don't know who's doing the scheduling, but you're definitely keeping us on our game here. I appreciate that. There's definitely been a lot of crossover. So interesting to see, though, and especially when you can get big wins, right? We already, we did get Bowling Green last week, correct, in terms of volleyball.
Yes, but volleyball lost to Bowling Green. They won to Loyola.
Yes. See, now I'm getting confused. Okay. Now I don't appreciate you guys so much. Yes. Yeah. I will try not to confuse myself. That happens more often than it should, for sure. But nevertheless, yeah, Lady Vols locked at 0 right now. We're about 30 minutes into that match. So we are still waiting to see a score going on in that game. We'll see if Jada can put another one through, if Lindsay can hold up and keep Bowling Green off the board. So, again, we will give you an update on that as we continue to go through. Dylan, I want to kick it back out to you real quick for Fieldhouse Social, our Wednesday night sponsor. How is it going out there, and do you have anything as far as the soccer game? Anything you've been keeping your eye on?
Fieldhouse is always great. We got trivia going on. Got to yell a little just because they're dealing out questions as usual. I like to play along a little bit myself, but I'm doing that on my own time. But yeah, soccer, it's always exciting to watch. I was very bummed out last year when Coach Pinsky left, because I remember when he went from Maryland to Tennessee, and I was very disappointed about that. And then he goes and does it again, so he disappoints me twice in a row. But hopefully things work out.
And I got to say, Dylan's got the right idea. Just he's there. Might as well play trivia. I'll probably do that next time I'm over there.
Man, I'm telling you, like,
trivia is always fun.
Trivia is always fun. And there's so many spots throughout campus that you can go and find it. Like every night of the week, if you really wanted to, you could go find trivia. But we do appreciate our Wednesday night sponsor, Fieldhouse Social, over there. And, again, trivia, we talked about it last week. It's a great atmosphere over there on Wednesday nights. I highly recommend going down there to Fieldhouse. It's also a great game day atmosphere. So just keep that in mind for tomorrow if you don't have already a designated place to watch the game.
Yeah, if you like TVs, they got about 1,000 of them over there.
And they're big.
Yeah, and how what's the biggest one? Like,
shoot, it's
got to be 100 feet.
I don't know. You could probably fit like 20 of me in there at least.
So we got a 20 Justin size TV over at Fieldhouse.
That's the new
That's
standard.
the official unit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We're Americans. We do things different, right?
20 days.
All right. So, yes. Thank you for the update, Dylan. and we will kick it back over to you on the other side of the break. When we come back, we are going to get into more of the college football games that are coming up this weekend, because as Tennessee is playing tomorrow, Saturday means you have all day to watch whatever you want to watch because the Vols are not on your TV. So we'll get into a lot of those games when we come back on the other side of the break. This is your Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports right here on WUTK 90.3.
Support for WUTK comes from Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. Fieldhouse Social serves American craft fare such as burgers, wings, and more with high tops around the bar, a separate dining area, and a center lounge with leather chairs and couches in front of their 23-foot LED TV wall for Tennessee and pro sports. Fieldhouse Social is an outdoor patio with trivia twice a week and sponsors Wednesday's Rock Solid Sports. FieldhouseSocial.com.
The Rock thanks the Knoxville Ice Bears Southern Professional Hockey League team for their support. Their 2022-2023 home ice season from October through April includes games with SPHL rivals Fayetteville, Huntsville, Roanoke, and more at the Civic Coliseum downtown. Single game and season tickets are at KnoxvilleIceBears.com or 865-525-PUCK. Rock Solid Sports features Ice Bears Wednesdays with news and updates. Volunteer Radio says, Go Ice Bears!
WUTK thanks Cool Beans, 1817 Lake Avenue, 1 block south of the Strip, for sponsoring and hosting the Monday night Rock Solid Sports broadcast at 7 p.m. Cool Beans is the pregame and postgame location for UT football, and Knoxville's home for the NFL Sunday Ticket, Titans football on the big screen, and more. Rock Solid Sports kicks off Monday Night Football with the show's live broadcast from 7 to 8 Monday nights at Cool Beans. Cool Beans is 21 and over after 9 p.m. with a full and late night menu. CoolBeansBar.com or their Facebook page. Volunteer Radio remains on the air thanks to support from Tennessee Smokies Baseball, the AA Southern League affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, whose 2022 regular season schedule features 6-game homestands Tuesdays through Sundays at nearby Smokies Stadium in Kodak against the Chattanooga Lookouts, Mississippi Braves, Birmingham Barons, and more. WUTK's Rock Solid Sports will cover Smokies Baseball all season long. SmokiesBaseball.com, and a link is at WUTKRadio.com.
This is Kim.
And John of the Stargazer Lilies.
And you're listening to 90.3 WUTK Volunteer Radio.
The Rock thanks the Hill Bar and Grill for their support. The Hill on Forest Avenue is open 7 days a week at 11 a.m. until late night for dining indoors or on the expanded patio. The Hill has a variety of appetizers and a full menu of wings, burgers, tacos, and more. The Hill is our Thursday Munchie Madness sponsor and home of Friday's Rock Solid Sports. On Instagram at The Hill Knox. Menu at thehillknox.com.
90.3 The Rock thanks the UT Athletic Department for their support. Season tickets for the 2022 UT Volunteers football season are on sale now. The next phase of Neyland Stadium renovations will be ready for the new season with home games against Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and more. Info at allvols.com. A link is at WUTKRadio.com. 90.3 The Rock wishes Coach Heupel and the football Vols good luck this season on the gridiron.
Knoxville, be sure to tune in Wednesday nights from 8 until 10 p.m. for The Alternative, sponsored by Bliss and Torrey Mason Shoes on Gate Street and at West Town Mall. And Bliss Home at the Gallery Shopping Center, also sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill Bar and Live Music Venue in the heart of Knoxville's Old City. The Alternative features 2 hours of the best in Americana music from the station who first brought Knoxville music by bands from back in the alt-country days, like the Jayhawks, Uncle Tupelo, Steve Earle, and Jason and the Scorchers, to 90s Americana like the V-Roys, Whiskey Town, Lucinda Williams, Sunvold, and others, to modern-day Americana musicians like Molly Tuttle, Tyler Childers, Casey Musgrave, Sturgill Simpson, Billy Strings, and the Punch Brothers. You'll also get classic Americana like Johnny Cash, the band, and Emily Harris, and there's always Patsy Cline at 9. Tune in Wednesday nights at 8 for The Alternative. Sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill, Bliss Home, and Torrey Mason Shoes, and only on 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
WUTK thanks New Ground Music Festival for their support. 90.3 The Rock co-presents the 2022 New Ground Music Festival. This year, it's twice as big, September 17th and 18th at Lakeshore Park, with the Vagabonds, Flip Turn, the Nude Party, and many, many more bands playing on 2 stages. Full festival lineup and tickets available at newgroundfestival.com. The New Ground Music Festival, a fundraiser for WUTK and X-Hunger, September 17th and 18th at Lakeshore Park, co-presented by local music's best friend, 90.3 The Rock. And welcome back in. This is your Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports on WTK 90.3 The Rock, sponsored by Fieldhouse Social. Again, our great Wednesday night sponsor. We cannot talk enough about them. And just thank you so much for your support, allowing us to do what we do, as always. And while we are talking about Fieldhouse, I am going to throw it back to Dylan real quick and get his 2 cents on how it's going down there. And also, Dylan, while we're going to be talking about it, go ahead and give me a college football game that you're looking forward to very much this year.
Well, Fieldhouse Social is always great. I'd like to think that I'm winning at trivia, but alas, I can't really hear any of the answers. But it was college football game I'm always looking forward to. I'm going to have to say Army-Navy. I know that means basically nothing to people out here, but I grew up just across the bay from Annapolis. I have family that were in the Army, in the Navy. I played for the Naval Academy's youth hockey program. So wow. I've been bleeding the blue and gold for basically my entire life. And that's always an exciting game just because it's a football rivalry that I'd say goes beyond the sport itself.
Wow. That's really impressive, Dylan. I did not know that about you. So that is actually really cool. You and I have some commonalities there. My father was in the Navy for 20 years. So I grew up a Navy brat, moving around quite a bit. But yeah, and sis out there watching as well. She understands what it's like. So yeah, that's really cool, man. We also grew up going for Navy, of course. But I'm a little confused. Are you telling me that game is week 1? Because I'm not aware of that.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, that's how trivia does this sometimes. You saying that game is week 1, Army Navy?
Oh, I thought you meant the season overall.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, now that makes a lot of sense, man. So
good game though.
that is an absolutely great game. I guess we'll be talking more about that towards Thanksgiving time. But anyway, yeah. Guys, across the way here, what games are y'all looking forward to the most? There's so many great matchups going on. I know someone's probably going to mention the one I'm thinking. Have at it.
I doubt we'd be mentioning this one. How about Georgia State visiting South Carolina? I don't know about you guys.
I did not have that one.
I am sick and tired of South Carolina already. Just because they're just not good, and I see them like top 4 in SEC esports, or even like top 3, because they think the Spencer Rattler is going to go over and save them. But the spread for this game is SC minus 12.5, and I mean, I don't even gotta say we all remember what Georgia State did when last time they came to the Knoxville. I think they're gonna do the same thing when they go to William Bryce Stadium and take down the Gamecocks, and I think that'll be the SEC upset of the week.
Wow, what an achievement they could add on top of what they unfortunately did here 3 years ago. Funny you mentioned that. I don't know why, but I was thinking about that game earlier as I was leaving the ever crowded G10 parking lot. Dominic, what game are you looking forward to this weekend?
So one that I'm actually really looking forward to that I think is slept on is the Florida State versus LSU game in New Orleans. And
yes.
Yeah, that game's going to be really good because Florida State has a lot to prove just after an atrocious previous season, losing to Jacksonville State, pretty much unheard of. And LSU with Brian Kelly coming in. Both these teams have a lot to play for, and they're playing in New Orleans. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a party. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's a Sunday night game actually. No NFL this weekend, but yeah, it's Sunday night game on ABC in the Superdome. So yeah, that's got to be good.
And what a way for obviously the new coach there to start off, right, coming from Notre Dame, and then my goodness, you get the first game in the Superdome, like that, the holy grail for Louisiana football fans here. So yeah, that's a really good game. I was not even paying attention to that one. So that was a sleeper game I had. That was a game I was not paying attention to enough anyway.
I will say, other than Rocky Top, I think Florida State has the best war chance in college football.
You know what? They are amazing. And I was talking to my wife about this the other day because she was asking about, the symbolism, the chants and everything, and why Florida State obviously does that. It gets to do it, and there's not really the backlash and persecution towards it, because I find, and this is an amazing fact that I just love about the university, they are endorsed by the Seminole tribe of Florida. So
that's great.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I think I don't know a whole lot about it, but from what I could think about is there's probably a lot of crossover between the two in terms of like making sure that they're representing in the correct way and things like that. So yeah, awesome atmosphere, man. I will 100% agree with you on that one. The one I can't believe nobody said it, but I think it's because you guys don't anticipate it being as close as some experts think it will be. Oregon and Georgia. That's the one I certainly had my eye on, which is the most hyped up matchup, I think, of week one by far. I'll get into my game that I have actually my eye on, but I wanted to get into this game because it is the most hyped of the weekend. How do you guys anticipate this one going? Let's get into some score predictions as well, which you guys anticipate seeing.
So I'm really thinking here that Georgia's going to show up in a big way, and people have been sleeping on Georgia a bit after they won the national championship. I just think because everyone thinks they lost a lot, but they didn't really lose so much as reload. This Georgia team is still really strong. And just because they didn't win a national championship for 40 some odd years doesn't mean it's going to be another 40 some odd years before they win another one. And Oregon has a tendency to fall flat in big games. They usually never really come through when it's time to prove that they're a legitimate contender. And so I really see Georgia winning this somewhere along the lines of 35-21.
Yeah, I really like Georgia. I don't understand how anyone can sleep on him. I guess it's because their quarterback looks like Napoleon Dynamite, but Stetson Bennett is a baller.
Well, hold on. Napoleon, though? Have you seen the updated pic of Stetson Bennett? I mean, the guy's he's walking with some swag now, bro.
I'm not. Stetson Bennett does not cross my feed.
No, I came upon it accidentally. I will be very honest about that.
But on the Oregon side, yeah, we're going to look for Bo Nix to, make his Oregon debut. Playing an SEC team in Atlanta. Familiar team Georgia is, and I just don't think it's going to go well for him. It's going to be Bo picks again. It's going to be Georgia 38, Oregon 13.
Yeah, and Nick Hill, former member here at Rock Solid Sports, saying South Carolina game you mentioned there, Justin. He says they are so overrated, 5-7 this season.
Thank you.
I am inclined to agree. I Spencer Rattler, for all he was worth at Oklahoma, I just don't think he's going to come to South Carolina and really turn that program around. It's going to take a lot more recruiting. But you know what? I do like the new head coach.
Yeah.
I think he's a decent guy. And
don't you say too many good things about him.
No.
Let's think about the good memory last year. We debuted the all black jerseys,
and that's why
that's
why he has a good, I don't know. I guess that's why I find it to be a good vibe. When I think of him, I think of last year, right?
Absolutely.
If that's how we're starting this fruitful relationship.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he also says Utah beats Florida by 3 or more touchdowns.
I can see that.
That, I got
in
chills
swamp,
reading that
man.
because in the swamp too. Like, let's go, man. And then Notre Dame, Ohio State, of course, is the other big game going on. That, look, we're SEC biased. Of course, Oregon, Georgia is going to be the highlight game that we're keeping an eye on. But of course, Notre Dame, Ohio State at 7:30 on ABC, number 5 versus number 2. That is that's going to be a spectacle to watch. I cannot wait to see Notre Dame in the new regime and see what they are able to do going against Ohio State there. I do want to throw out real quick, too, the game. Sort of a sleeper game, I think, that people are not really talking about, paying a bunch of attention to, could be Cincinnati, Arkansas. I know Cincinnati's coming off of losing Ritter. I know that there's things changing there. Arkansas, I think that's what I'm most excited about, is to see where are they, because they've had a lot of preseason talk. Are they this team that everyone is talking about? So I think that's for sure going to be one I will be keeping either my phone or my TV on. I promise you guys, I have like 4 games going every Saturday. I'm sure y'all are much similar. I'm going to throw it to Chloe real quick. She has something she needs to let everybody know.
Yeah, so before we close out the show, we still got a few minutes left. We do have to remind everyone a overall radio station thing. Today is the Sono Social at Sono Taco Cantina. That's 3701 Sevierville Pike, where 10% of all food and beverage purchases today will go toward our 40 for 40 fundraiser. So you need to go down there. They held a drawing for Moon River Festival tickets and UT versus Ball State tickets and more. That was at 7 p.m. But if you can't make it, you still need to go down to Sono. They have the best tacos in town. It's right across the river down in Sono, South Knox. And we'll have 24 of those limited edition WTK Rockin' Ears Terrapin Beer Rockin' Ears pint glasses for a minimum requested $10 donation. $10, that's pretty nice. Plus a silent disco. And the Sono Taco Beer Garden from 7 to 10 p.m. So you need to come on out today to eat or later to hang with the rock crew at August Sono Social at Sono Taco. And you have until 10 p.m. You have 2 more hours to get down there and see all of our WTK friends down there.
You have plenty of time to go spend some good, front bonding time, I guess, with us here at Sono Taco. It is, again, great place to be at. Obviously, that sounds like a wonderful event. So, yes, if you have the availability tonight, get down there. It's a great place to be. And, I know everyone's, again, excited. There's a lot of excitement. We can't really get it out till tomorrow, so go have fun for sure. And, man, just anticipating this game tomorrow. Wow.
What are you doing tonight? What else are you doing? It's game day eve. Like, I know you're just sitting in anticipation. You might as well go out and eat some tacos.
Yeah.
Good tacos.
Wearing orange.
Lots of orange.
Yeah. I know it's not Tuesday still, but, go get you some tacos. You can never go wrong with tacos, of course. So, anyway, I want to kick it back out to Dylan real quick one final time before we head out for tonight. Dylan over there at Fieldhouse Social. 2525 University Commons Way, our Wednesday night sponsor. Dylan, how is your trivia game going? And how is the atmosphere? Is it ever growing, as I assume it is?
Well, I definitely lost at trivia, but it seems like everyone else won, so everyone is in a good mood, as they should be, as it is game day eve. Hopefully we keep this energy going all the way to Neyland tomorrow and keep it all the way throughout the season.
Dylan, do you have a game this weekend that you're looking forward to at all, or is it just all of them?
Okay, there we go. I'd probably go Maryland Buffalo, as everyone knows, because I don't shut up about it. Terps were my team until the Vols entered my life. And so it's always exciting to see what the Terps end up doing. I've been to a lot of Terps games, but again, Vols have my loyalty. I will say the December 12th basketball game between the Vols and the Terps is going to be very difficult for me.
Yeah. I've been in those heart-torn situations before. I completely understand what you're saying, Dylan. But, I'm going to be honest with you as well. I don't think I'll be tuning much into Maryland Buffalo, but for your hope, for your sake, I hope I go Terps.
Go Terps.
I ain't got nothing against them.
They still have Tua's brother back there at quarterback.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not sure if he is still there or not.
Who can pronounce the last name though? I think it's
Tonga. There
you go.
Yeah. No, I don't know if he's still there or not, to be honest. But
maybe our friend Dylan knows.
Dylan?
Yeah.
What was the question? Hard to hear again.
Who's the quarterback for Maryland? We were thinking Talia.
That's why I couldn't tell you.
So are you really a fan?
He just likes the mascot.
Well, look, let's be real. He's come over to the Big Orange side. Now he's very loyal to us.
There's a lot going on over here.
It's 80-20 Tennessee, Maryland now. So we certainly appreciate that, Dylan. Anyway, that is going to do it for tonight's show. I appreciate everyone out there for tuning in tonight. Again, sorry about the Sterl the Pearl issue going on there. We will try to have better luck with that
as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
As we can.
Yeah. And so stay tuned again.
Maybe another game day eve, maybe on a Friday show before
it's
Saturday.
Going to be a great show.
Yes. Chloe, absolutely. This is our Friday night host, everyone out there. So tune in on Friday. Of course, you will get all your best game day previews and everything else to digest, and hopefully get some VFLs on as well.
Yes.
So with that being said, again, thank you everyone out there for rocking with us tonight. We will catch you on Friday for the Friday night edition of Rock Solid Sports here on WUTK 90.3 The Rock.